Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is Getting to Know You, an Owners Club exclusive podcast. Right now, reach down, hit that subscribe button, give us a like. Today, I'm introducing Traci Tattersall. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Kathie. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. Where are you located?
I'm in Denver, Colorado, just a suburb about 45 minutes south of the Denver proper area. Beautiful Denver, Colorado.
I love it. Well, tell us about yourself. Who is Tracy?
Sure. First of all, I just want to thank you for having me again. And I really appreciate you having this podcast. It's been a great way to get to know other Owners Club members. And it's been a little comforting to me that everyone's kind of on their own journey. And I'm new to Owners Club and frankly, new to real estate investing. I'll tell you about that. But it's been fun to see everyone's on their own journey. They're all learning along the way. And, being an Owners Club can be a little overwhelming. You think everyone's got it all together, but it's been fun to really get to know people and that everyone's on their own journey and learning as they go. So thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Well, a little bit about me. I have a business background. So my background is not in real estate. My husband and I have built a successful business in crop insurance, which a lot of people probably aren't familiar with. I wasn't when I met him, but farmers and ranchers grow our food supply. And so crop insurance protects that. So anyway, we built a successful business with agents and employees, and that got bought out last year, which was a kind of a big turning point for us. The agency actually got bought out, so it was kind of a sudden shift for us. It was a great shift. It was a blessing, frankly, but it meant that we were going to pivot into something new. He's still got his book of business, but we don't own the business or our employees anymore. So I needed to step away and found real estate investing really to help with some tax benefits that we were going to be encountering. So our first investment property was a short-term rental up in Keystone, Colorado, which is a ski town here in Denver. And it's beautiful property. We'll share it in the show notes. I'd sure love to share it with the Owners Club people, but it's pretty special. Our first group that actually stayed in it last year, or actually this year, we closed in January, was we hosted the Sub 2 ski trip. So that was really fun. Kind of got to know a lot of folks in Sub 2 and still do have a relationship with them. And then of course went to Squat Up, kind of drugged my husband. He didn't really know what I was doing. I had found Pace online. Of course, he pops up when you start talking about real estate investing. And so every other YouTube video is his. And so I just loved his content and learned a lot. And after Squat Up, we joined Owners Club. We're ambitious, only for the ambitious, but we really didn't know what we were doing. We just wanted to be in the room with other people who did. So, but yeah, we've since then, I've got my real estate license. So I'm a unicorn agent out here. We started a lending business too. So we really want to build that up. Matthew 620 Resources is what it's called. So we're frankly still kind of finding our lane. We're working on a co-living project. We just got one under contract. So we'll have one hopefully by the end of the year fully functional. So we're excited about that. My kids are now in the business, which is crazy. We came back from Squat Up, just really fired up. I have two boys, 20 and 22, and they were so excited that they quit their jobs, both of them, really quickly, which I told them not to. But now they're wholesaling and they're kind of figuring it out, having some great success. And I'm just super proud of them. So my youngest, Travis, is part of Sub 2. So he's really excited about that and has enjoyed the trainings. My plan now is just to really find my lane. I felt impressed to, like you, start a podcast. I turned 53 Saturday. We're empty nesters now. I'm starting a new career and it's a huge life change, right? But I feel like what I could speak to on the podcast is just reinventing yourself at a later age. I mean, I feel like so many people have done that. I've done it multiple times. Got divorced early on and had to recreate myself. And it's humbling to be learning things and a little intimidating to be in a room with people you think know so much more than you. But it's exciting too, a little exhilarating. And so I'm going to start that soon. The channel is just my name, Traci Tattersall. What I would like to ask any other Owners Club folks out there or anyone who sees this is just, if you have a story worth telling or you've gone through something, could be good like ours, is a really a blessing to have a career change, an opportunity to do that. But it could be maybe not so great. It could be you've gone through a valley and you've had to make some hard life choices, that really brought you back up or something. So I think everyone can kind of identify with that. And I'd love to talk to people and just hear stories. And we've all got life lessons and wisdom to share. I'd love to hear from anyone who wants to share their story. So
That's awesome. Yes, everyone, please reach out to Tracy, get on her podcast. I think that evolving in life is just something everybody does at some point or another. Some people evolve more frequently throughout life. I've had a lot of evolutions myself, and it reminds me actually of a parable, what you said about the agency closing and how that seemed kind of devastating in the moment. But in hindsight, that's one of the blessings, right? And you can never really judge anything in the moment because as good or bad, you can't really label it good or bad because we never know. Those things that we think are major blessings, later will prove to be, oh, that was a turning point that really wasn't that positive for us. However, when devastating things happen, the opposite can be true, where 6 months later you look back and go, that was getting fired was the best thing that ever happened to me. So
absolutely.
I love that. And I love that your podcast is going to highlight that for people and let them know that they are among others that have experienced similar things as well. That's a
Yeah.
really great value add for our community.
Yeah. I think it could be encouraging for people.
What are you working on right now besides your podcast? What are you working on in real estate? You mentioned the co-living. You mentioned that you have the rental in the ski area,
Mhm.
and you're figuring things out. But what would you say your model is now?
That's a really good question, Kathie. I don't think I'm the only one who's probably still trying to figure it out a little bit. I think going forward, what we really want to focus on, my husband and I, is we have the lending business. We're lending on several projects from people in Owners Club. Shout out to Louver Sonudo. Let's see, Dom and Angie up north here in Colorado are our regional leaders. They're great people. So we've got several projects we're lending on right now, and it's fun to see those projects come to fruition and stuff. So we really want to build that up going forward. Let's see. The short-term rental is pretty special. So I know we've kind of become familiar with Bill Faith through some of the sub two groups and stuff. Just he's kind of the one to learn from him how to make a short-term rental experience amazing. I mean, I know short-term rentals for the most part are kind of going away, and I get that because there's a lot of regulations, but this one is pretty special. So we're really trying to create an experience with that. It's a one of a kind property up in Keystone, and it's got a full indoor pool and a full gymnasium, so it's almost like renting a small hotel. So we're excited about that. I think our focus is really we want to build relationships with local people to someday maybe self-manage that property. The margins aren't great when you've got a property management company. I mean, we need it because it's an hour and a half away, but we'd like to put an infrastructure in place now so that, when the time comes in a year or so, or maybe two, when we can take it over ourselves, we'll be ready. We're thinking about talking to like professional sports teams or college teams locally too that need high altitude training facility or a rehab facility. There's one in Vail, which is about 45 minutes from Keystone. So I think there's a need for that in the sports community since it is such a special property, a rehab facility or a place to build endurance at a high altitude. Also, large gatherings or family reunions. So, in fact, our son's wedding will be there next weekend. We're excited about that. We'll take pictures of that event and put that on the listing so people know they can use it as an event space as well. So focusing on that is important to us. We're really excited about Pace's car wash opportunity, the Owners Club. That's super exciting. So I think we're definitely going to jump on that once we have the training. So building our lending business, like I said, we do have a co-living under contract. So we're excited to kind of see the process of getting that ramped up and built up and on the market. So we'll see the process with that. I don't know if that's going to be our model going forward full time, but it's something I want to experience. So
I'd like to take a moment, if I could, and
yeah.
just have you expand a little bit on your lending. So, if someone is looking for financing, what is your niche in lending?
Yes, all of the projects we've lent on thus far have been flips. So they're about max 6 months. I don't really see us doing any buy and holds at all. What we're really good at is building a business, creating great culture, and that is exciting to me. I would love to lend on those kind of projects or even consider doing those ourselves and adding value to an existing business and creating additional revenue that way.
If you could pick your top need in your business, what would that be?
I want to get to know more Owners Club folks out there. I'd love to JV on some deals and really gain experience. I'd love to JV on deals where we can have some tax benefits. If people want to reach out to me and you've got projects, you need additional partners, whether it's lending or just business partners, I'd love to talk to you and see if we can do deals together.
What is your preferred method of contact?
I think email's good. It's pretty easy. It's tracy@teamtattersall.com. I'd love to hear from people.
Awesome. Everyone, thank you so much for plugging in. Leave a comment and tap into those show notes to see all of the great things that Tracy is offering today. And thank you so much for being a guest on the show, Tracy.
Thanks, Kathie. I appreciate it.